it is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly to give my quick pre-match thoughts ahead of United's trip to Goodison Park Sunday, 4:30 UK time, and it's a big one. It's a big one for both sides, and we'll get into that in just a second. But before we do, please do leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I really enjoy reading all of your thoughts and responses and ideas about anything really in the comment section down below. Just get anything you want in the comment section down below. I love interacting with you down there. And if you do enjoy the content, please do feel free to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well if you think the content's alright. But before we get into the preview, I do want to mention that I was very happy to be invited onto Rose's channel. I've done a few previews on her channel whenever we played Everton. So if you are an Everton fan or even just a football fan in general, please do feel free to check out her channel, Everton Rose, and I've put a link to the preview in the description. Really enjoyed the chat, and make sure you do check it out in the description down below. So that was exciting, but let's talk about the match itself, and let's talk a bit about Everton, who have had a pretty hectic couple of weeks. Their international break wasn't the time for them to just recharge and kind of relax and watch some dull international football. It was a bit of a manic week for a lot of Everton fans, a bit of a stressful week, not just for the fans of course, but for the players, Sean Dyche as well. 10-point deduction, something that we don't often see in the Premier League. You see it sometimes in the Scottish League or maybe other leagues around the world, but very rarely do you see a points deduction handed out in the Premier League, and a 10-point deduction seems quite harsh. I think to simplify it to the best of my ability, as I said, I'm sure you'll all say I'm wrong in the comments, and if it is wrong, you're absolutely entitled to do so. But my simplified explanation is essentially this is something to do with FFP and the fact that the Premier League have rules where over a 3-year period, clubs are only allowed to make a loss of a certain amount of money, and Everton went over that threshold by a certain amount, which means that they got doctored 10 points. So that's the most simple, basic explanation. There's so much better information out there if you want to learn more, so please do. But that's my kind of simplified, dumbed-down explanation. And it's something which, obviously has caused a lot of debate, especially with the charges levelled at Man City and Chelsea and some of their doings. Really interesting couple of weeks in terms of financial rules and what the rules are even. I don't think anyone really knows. I don't think there's much clarity. Been a very interesting week on and off the pitch for Everton. A very stressful one, but one which has seemingly galvanised their players and not only their players but their manager as well. And I'm sure they're going to want to kind of show that on the pitch, and that's something that's not going to make it easy from a Manchester United point of view going to Goodison Park. There's rumours of protests before the game and during the game, and just fans in general are going to be making it an absolute hellhole for whoever's playing them, which of course just so happens to be Erik ten Hag's Manchester United side. So probably the worst time to be playing Everton really, especially with the form they've been showing. They won their last game against Crystal Palace, 3-2 win. Pretty impressive win actually, considering how much pressure they are under, and to kind of come back in that game a couple times, come out with a 3-2 win at Selhurst Park, a team that we've been beaten by at home this season. So it's no mean feat, and they've been on a decent run as of late. So, before the 10-point deduction, they had 14 points. They're now 19th in the relegation zone, of course. But if they beat us, they'll probably be outside the relegation zone. So it shouldn't be too long of a stay in the bottom three for Dyche's men. But they've had an alright season up until now, and I'm sure this will galvanise them and the fans, and it'll be a very, very difficult place to go. If it wasn't already, Goodison Park was already a bogey team for a lot of teams, or a bogey stadium for a lot of teams, and it's going to be made even worse after what's just happened. But you know what? I hope justice is served. That's the main thing. As a football fan, you hope justice is served in that regard. But let's talk a bit about Manchester United. This is my predicted starting 11. I'll whiz through it because I said I don't have too much time today. So I'm just going to whiz through my predicted starting 11. Leave your predicted starting 11s in the comment section down below as well. I've gone with Onana, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof and Shaw. Both Onana and Shaw were injury doubts, but having listened to Ten Hag's press conference, apparently they're going to be back in the side. So that is a massive positive, especially Luke Shaw. We haven't seen him in months, and hopefully he makes that left side a lot more stable. And I just think we need him back. McTominay, Amrabat in the midfield. Eriksen apparently injured as well. Obviously Casemiro out until the end of the year. So really, apart from them, it's only Mason Mount or Kobbie Mainoo who could fill in that position. And I don't think those are the sorts of players for this game. I think we need physicality. We need big bodies in there, big shoulders. So that's what I've gone with. Rashford on the left-hand side, he needs to start scoring some goals. Bruno Fernandes in the number 10. Garnacho on the right-hand side. Could have been Pellistri, actually. He got a great assist for Darwin Núñez for Uruguay, actually. I saw it was a really good assist from him. So it could be Pellistri, but I'm going to go with Garnacho. And then I've gone with Rasmus Højlund up front. Again, if you've seen the press conference, Ten Hag mentioned Højlund, saying it was going to be a bit of a last-minute decision. So we'll see what happens with that. But I have gone with Højlund. It could be Martial, who also has a very good record against Everton. But I'm going to give you my score prediction. Now, I do predict there's going to be goals in this game. I think both defences this season, in all competitions, have been liable to leaking a few goals, especially in the Champions League from our point of view. In the Premier League, I was surprised to see we've only conceded 13 goals, which, if you look at the top 6, isn't too far away. So it's not a terrible record, but scoring goals is our biggest flaw. I think one of our strikers in the Premier League this season have scored, and that was Rashford with 1 goal. So we've scored 1 goal from a possible 6 or 7 sources in our squad. Simply not good enough. But I have a feeling that this game will be frantic, will be very energetic and very physical, and I just think it's going to be a cracker of a Premier League game. I really, really do. But unfortunately, I don't think we come out on the winning side. I'm going to say 2-2, and I'll be a bit deflated with it. Obviously, if we score 2 goals in injury time that we get against Brentford, maybe I'll feel a little bit better about it. But no doubt, this is going to be a very, very difficult assignment for Erik ten Hag. And the week doesn't get much more easy for him, considering after this we go away to Galatasaray and then away to Newcastle. So 3 away games in 6 days. A loss here would be a catastrophic start to that 6-week period. So, as Ten Hag said in his press conference, the players need to show the standards of Manchester United. They need to show some bottle, they need to show some fight, and hopefully they prove me wrong and we do come away from Goodison Park with 3 points. But anyway, those are my pre-match thoughts ahead of United's game against Everton. Please do leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel as well if you're new, and do not forget to check out the match preview that I was invited on to. I was on Rose's channel, mix up my words there, been a long day. I got invited onto Rose's channel. Check out the preview that I mentioned, link in the description down below. Brilliant stuff over there. But anyway, thanks for watching guys, really appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.